Imagine, just for a moment, that you are already the emperor of your own magnificent empire. Feel the weight of the crown, the power in your hands, the boundless resources flowing at your command. Now, hold on to that feeling tightly, for this is no fantasy. This is the very foundation upon which your future stands. To build an empire, you must first act as if it already exists. This is not mere pretending, but a profound knowing. Your mind is the architect, your imagination the blueprint, and your feelings the mortar that binds the bricks of your new reality. If you want an empire, you must think, speak, and live as though it is already yours. Your senses will try to deceive you, showing you only what is the current moment, the limited circumstances, the unfinished dreams. But do not believe them. Your senses are but the echoes of your inner state. Change the inner state, and the outer world will transform to match. Feel the pride, the responsibility, the joy of empire building now. These feelings are the magnets that pull your future into your present. It is not the external world that shapes you. It is you who shape the external world through your unshakable inner conviction. Build yourself seated as the ruler of your destiny. See yourself as powerful, resourceful, and worthy of abundance. When you do, your actions will align naturally with this identity, and the universe will conspire to place the throne beneath you. Remember, this empire is not built overnight. It is forged through consistent, deliberate acts that echo your imagined reality. Each step you take, each word you speak, each thought you nurture in the light of your vision is a brick in your empire's foundation. Be patient, be persistent, but above all, be unwavering in your belief. Doubt is the enemy of creation. Confidence is its ally. When challenges arise, meet them as a true ruler would, with steady heart and clear vision. Gratitude is your secret weapon. Give thanks now for the empire you are building, for the doors already opening, and for the power you wield within. Gratitude energizes your vision and quickens its manifestation. This empire is your birthright. Act on it. Live in its reality. Speak of it with certainty, and watch as the world bends itself to your command. You are not just dreaming, you are creating. You are not just imagining, you are living your empire now. Imagination is the very beginning, the invisible blueprint from which all things emerge. Before a building rises, before an empire stretches across lands, there is a picture formed in the mind's eye. This picture is not idle or fanciful. It is the origin of all creation. The moment you imagine something vividly and with feeling, you plant a seed in the fertile ground of your consciousness. This seed contains all the potential for the thing to grow and take form. When you imagine, you are not simply seeing images like a passive spectator. You are actively shaping the essence of what is to come. Your imagination is the workshop where your future is forged. It is a creative force more powerful than any external circumstance because it lives within you, beyond time and space. No external obstacle can withstand the force of a mind fully engaged in the act of imagining. The images you hold in your mind are like seeds because they contain the encoded possibility of all things you desire. Just as a tiny acorn carries within it the blueprint of a mighty oak, so does your imagination carry within it the blueprint of your destiny. When you nurture these mental seeds with feeling, joy, certainty, confidence, they begin to germinate and grow, sending out roots and branches into the realm of possibility. Your imagination is not limited by the present moment or by what your senses report. It reaches beyond the immediate, stretching into the unseen and the unknown. It is the place where you can build, unrestrained by the current facts of your life. It is where you can create your ideal self, your ideal circumstances, and your ideal world. Each imagined scene is an act of creation, a word spoken into the void that calls forth its reality. To imagine is to speak the language of the soul, to give form to what lies hidden inside. It is the highest power you possess. because it precedes and dictates the outcome of all your external experiences. Every invention, every achievement, every empire begins as a single image formed in the mind. Without that image, nothing can come into being. Yet, many do not understand the significance of this faculty. They look outward for proof, for evidence, for change in the world around them, forgetting that the world is shaped from within. They treat imagination as a pastime or escape, rather than the vital creative force that it is. The truth is, imagination is not just a tool, it is the origin itself. It is the fountainhead from which your entire life flows. When you realize this, you see that the act of imagining is the first step in building your empire. It is where you declare your sovereignty, not in words spoken to others, but in the silent declaration within your own heart and mind. Every scene you imagine, every feeling you awaken, plants another seed in the soil of your consciousness. These seeds will grow into the reality you desire, as surely as the sun will rise tomorrow. To act from the end means to begin your journey, not at the starting point, but from the very completion of your desire. It is to see yourself not as a person chasing a dream, but as the one who has already arrived, who has already accomplished what you seek. When you act from the end, you place yourself mentally and emotionally in a state of having what you want, and from that place, you move forward in your life. This principle challenges the usual way we think about progress, where we look to the present circumstances as proof of where we are headed. Instead, it invites you to reverse the process. Imagine the finished picture so clearly, so vividly, that it becomes your present reality. Your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings then align naturally with this imagined end. This alignment is the invisible magnet that pulls the circumstances to match your inner state. Acting from the end is not about pretending or wishful thinking disconnected from reality. It is about embodying the truth of what you are creating. If you want to build an empire, then carry yourself now with the confidence, the authority, and the vision of an emperor. Dress your mind in the garments of success and power. Speak with the certainty of one who commands, and move with the purpose of one who rules. This is the internal act that precedes the external manifestation. When you hold yourself in this state, you change the signal you send out to the world. People, opportunities, and resources will begin to respond to the vibration you emit. The universe operates on this principle. It moves toward that which is held most dominantly in your consciousness. By acting from the end, you become a living embodiment of your desired reality, making it inevitable that the world around you will conform to that vision. This is why it is so crucial to feel what it is like to have what you want now. Feel the joy, the pride, the relief of your empire already built. When your inner world reflects this state, your external world will follow suit. Your behavior changes because your identity changes. Actions no longer come from fear, doubt, or lack, but from the certainty and abundance of your imagined success. Acting from the end also protects you from discouragement. When you measure your progress by the current conditions, you risk being swayed by temporary setbacks. But when you live from the end, your vision is fixed and unwavering. Your faith is not dependent on what is seen, but on what is known internally. This allows you to persist with patience and resilience, trusting that every step is unfolding in perfect time. In this way, to act from the end is to live in the power of the fulfilled desire, to walk in the identity of your highest self, and to move through the world with the assurance of one who has already succeeded. It is the secret art of creation, to become everything you see around you. Every circumstance, relationship, and event is a reflection of your inner world. The outer world is not a random place of chaos or chance. It is a mirror that faithfully reflects the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings you hold within. Your outer reality is the visible expression of your internal state, the physical echo of your mental and emotional landscape. When your inner world is filled with doubt, fear, or limitation, your external experiences will correspondingly reflect struggle, scarcity, and frustration. Conversely, when you nurture a rich inner world of faith, confidence, and abundance, your surroundings begin to shift to match that vibration. This is not magic or wishful thinking. It is the natural order of creation, where the invisible precedes the visible. Your beliefs are the architects of your life's design. They build the framework upon which every event is constructed. If you believe that life is hard and opportunities are scarce, your world will show you evidence to confirm this belief. But if you believe that life is generous and that you are deserving of greatness, your world will respond by revealing possibilities and blessings you may not have noticed before. Your emotions act as a barometer of your inner world. They reveal the state of your consciousness at any given moment. When you feel joy, peace, and certainty, you are in alignment with the reality you wish to create. When you feel anxiety, doubt, or lack, you signal a disconnection from your desired state. The outer world then shifts to bring you situations that correspond to that feeling, often challenging you to change your internal script. Every interaction you have, every opportunity that comes your way, every challenge you face, is filtered through the lens of your inner condition. The world responds not to your desires or intentions alone, but to the dominant frequency you emit. This means that before you seek to change your circumstances, the true work lies in changing yourself, your perceptions, your thoughts, your feelings. You hold the power to transform your reality by first transforming your inner world. This transformation requires awareness, discipline, and persistence. It demands that you become a careful gardener of your thoughts and emotions, choosing to cultivate those that align with your vision of success and abundance. When your inner garden flourishes, the outer harvest follows naturally. The process is subtle, yet profound. It may not always be visible immediately, but it is always at work beneath the surface. Like a potter shaping clay, your inner world molds the form and texture of your outer experiences. Change the shape of your thoughts and feelings, and the clay of your life begins to take on a new form, one that reflects your highest intentions. Your external world is not an enemy or a prison. It is a faithful servant, responding to your inner commands. It is a canvas waiting to be painted by the colors of your imagination and emotion. When you take responsibility for your inner world, you step into your true creative power. You realize that the conditions around you are not fixed, but fluid, shaped and reshaped by the content of your consciousness. In this understanding lies great freedom. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstances. Instead, you become the master artist of your reality, designing and sculpting a life that reflects the beauty and grandeur of your inner vision. The outer world is your masterpiece, born from the infinite creative power within you. To live in the state of a fulfilled desire means to immerse yourself fully in the experience of having already received what you seek. It is to occupy the mental, emotional, and spiritual space as if your dream is no longer a distant goal, but a present reality. This is not an act of pretending or false hope. It is a deliberate and conscious choice to embrace the feeling of fulfillment now, even before the outer evidence appears. When you live in this state, your mind no longer dwells on lack or waiting. Instead, it rests peacefully in the assurance that your desire is complete and whole. Your thoughts are aligned with your wish fulfilled, and your emotions resonate with the satisfaction, joy, and gratitude of receiving. This alignment creates a magnetic force that draws your desire closer to manifestation. The power of living in the fulfilled state lies in the deep conviction you cultivate within yourself. It is a knowing beyond the reasoning mind, a feeling so real that it transcends time and circumstance. You are not stretching toward the future with anxious anticipation. You are anchored firmly in the present, basking in the certainty of your success. This state affects every aspect of your being. Your posture changes. Your voice takes on the tone of confidence. Your actions flow naturally with ease and grace. The universe perceives this inner reality and responds accordingly, arranging people, events, and conditions to mirror what you already embody inside. Living in the fulfilled state also dissolves the tension between desire and doubt. Doubt exists only when the mind is divided between what is and what could be. But when you live as if the desire is already yours, there is no room for conflict or contradiction. You hold a singular, unwavering vision that shapes your world effortlessly. To sustain this state requires discipline and presence. It is easy to fall back into old habits of worry or impatience, but each time you return to the feeling of fulfillment, you strengthen your creative power. Repetition of this inner experience rewires your subconscious, reinforcing the truth of your desire's realization. This state also invites gratitude as a natural companion. When you live as if your desire is fulfilled, gratitude arises spontaneously for the blessings already present and those on their way. Gratitude amplifies the energy of fulfillment and deepens your connection to the source of all creation. By living in the state of the fulfilled desire, you transform waiting into active creating. You become a co-creator with the unseen forces, partnering with them through your unwavering belief and feeling. This is the secret pathway to manifestation, to embody fully what you wish to experience and thereby make it inevitable that it will appear in your outer life. Inhabit this state without hesitation. Make it your natural resting place. Allow yourself to be convinced by the reality you have created within. This inner conviction will ripple outward, reshaping your entire existence and bringing your desires into the tangible world with certainty and grace. The evidence of the senses is often the greatest obstacle between you and the reality you wish to create. Your eyes, ears, and physical surroundings present a current state of affairs, one that may seem fixed, unchangeable, and definitive. Yet this sensory evidence is merely a reflection of your past and present inner state, not a prophecy of your future. To dismiss it means to refuse to accept the outer conditions as ultimate truth or limitation. Your senses are conditioned to report what exists in the moment, but they do not reveal what is possible or what is already forming beneath the surface of your consciousness. They show you the effect, but not the cause. The true cause lies within your imagination and your belief. When you cling to sensory evidence, you are bound by the confines of what you see, hear, and feel physically, which traps you in a reality that no longer serves your vision. To dismiss the evidence of the senses requires a profound act of faith and awareness. It calls for a conscious decision to trust the unseen, to live by the inner conviction that your desire is already fulfilled, despite any contrary appearances. This does not mean ignoring reality blindly, but rather recognizing that your external world is a transient stage, a temporary reflection that must give way to a new form shaped by your imagination and feeling. When you begin to doubt your senses and instead lean into the certainty of your inner vision, you create a powerful shift. You are no longer a passive receiver of external facts, but an active creator shaping your world from within. The senses may tell you that your empire does not yet exist, but your imagination and feeling insist that it does. This insistence overrides the sensory evidence and initiates the process of manifestation. The senses are not enemies. They are servants to the dominant state of your mind. When your inner world is aligned with your fulfilled desire, your senses will begin to reflect that reality in due time. Until then, they will show you the old condition. But you must not mistake this for final truth. Holding on to the sensory evidence is like watching a shadow on the wall and believing it is the object itself. Dismissal of the senses requires practice and courage. It is easy to fall into the trap of relying on what is immediately visible or tangible. Yet, the greatest creators throughout history have understood that true creation comes from trusting the unseen. They act in spite of the evidence of the senses, fueled by the certainty of their vision and the feeling of their fulfilled desire. This principle invites you to become a master of your perception, to choose which reality you acknowledge and give power to. You may see failure, lack, or delay around you, But if you hold fast to the image and feeling of success, the sensory evidence will gradually dissolve and be replaced by the new reality you have imagined. In dismissing the evidence of the senses, you free yourself from limitation. You step beyond the prison of current conditions and enter the boundless realm of possibility. Here, your imagination and feelings reign supreme, creating a future that no eye has yet seen, but your inner eye knows, with unwavering certainty. Your self-concept is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. It is the deeply held image you carry of who you are, what you deserve, and what you are capable of achieving. This internal blueprint governs every thought you think, every decision you make, and every action you take. It is the silent ruler of your destiny, shaping the course of your life far more than external circumstances or random chance. The self-concept is not merely a collection of surface beliefs. It is the core identity that defines your relationship with yourself and the world. If you see yourself as limited, unworthy, or powerless, your life will reflect those beliefs in the form of obstacles, failures, and missed opportunities. Conversely, if you hold an image of yourself as strong, capable, and deserving of greatness, your reality will unfold to confirm that identity. This governing power of the self-concept works largely beneath conscious awareness. It is rooted in the subconscious mind, where your habits, automatic responses, and patterns of behavior are formed. The subconscious accepts your self-concept as absolute truth and works tirelessly to bring all experiences into alignment with that truth. It is like a faithful servant, manifesting outward conditions that match the internal narrative you carry. Because your self-concept is so influential, changing it is the key to transforming your destiny. Without changing how you see yourself, no amount of external effort will produce lasting change. Success, happiness, and fulfillment do not come from external validation or circumstances alone. They come from the inner image you hold and nurture daily. This means your work begins within, in the quiet cultivation of a new, empowering self-concept. To govern your destiny through your self-concept is to consciously craft the story you tell yourself about who you are. It requires you to rewrite limiting beliefs and replace them with affirmations of your worth, power, and potential. This rewriting must be done not only with the mind, but also with the feeling. You must feel the truth of your new self-concept deeply, as if it is already reality. Your actions naturally follow your self-concept. When you truly believe in your capability, you move boldly toward your goals. When you doubt yourself, hesitation and fear arise, creating barriers that seem impossible to overcome. Thus, the self-concept acts as a gatekeeper, determining what you allow yourself to pursue and what you dismiss as unattainable. The destiny you experience is the natural consequence of the self-myth you hold. If you see yourself as a builder of empires, as a person of influence and power, then every step you take will be in service of that vision. Your choices, your environment, and even the people you attract will align with this grand image. On the other hand, a diminished self-concept will confine you to small, limited experiences, no matter how much you wish for more. Changing your self-concept requires vigilance and persistence, because old patterns are deeply ingrained. You must guard your thoughts and feelings carefully, nurturing only those that support the identity you wish to embody. Every time you affirm your worth, your strength, your vision, you reshape your subconscious programming and expand the possibilities of your future. Your self-concept is the true architect of your destiny. It is the invisible hand guiding your life's journey. By taking control of this inner blueprint, you claim the power to create a future that reflects the highest vision you hold of yourself. Your destiny is not written in the stars or dictated by fate. It is drawn from the self-inhuman you carry within and expressed outward through every moment of your life. Consistency in the imagined state is the vital force that transforms fleeting thoughts into tangible realities. To imagine once or twice is not enough. The mind and heart must return repeatedly to the same vivid, detailed scene of your fulfilled desire. This unwavering return to your imagined state creates a deep impression on your subconscious, which is the soil in which your dreams take root and grow. The power of imagination lies not just in the initial spark of creativity, but in the sustained attention and feeling you invest over time. When you consistently dwell in the state of having what you want, you build a mental momentum that is unstoppable. Each time you revisit your imagined reality, you reinforce its presence in your mind and deepen the emotional certainty that it is already yours. Without consistency, your imagined state becomes like a flickering flame, easily extinguished by doubts, fears, or distractions. The mind naturally drifts back to the familiar realities of the senses, and if you do not firmly hold the new state, the old patterns reclaim their dominance. This inconsistency delays or prevents the manifestation of your desires, as the subconscious receives conflicting signals and struggles to know which reality to create. Consistency in the imagined state is like tending a garden. You must water it regularly, remove weeds of negative thought, and give it the sunlight of focused attention. The more faithfully you return to your vision, the stronger it grows, until it bursts forth into your external world. This repeated practice builds an unshakable conviction, turning your imagined state into a lived reality. Remember that building your empire begins within, through the power of your imagination, the certainty of your vision, and the unwavering belief in yourself. It is through dismissing doubt, nurturing your self-concept, maintaining consistency, and committing to small, aligned actions that you bring your dreams into reality. Speak and think only of the empire you are destined to build. Let confidence be your foundation, and show persistence not to the trials you face, but to the vision that guides you. These principles are the blueprint for turning possibility into manifestation. Thank you for listening, and may you move forward with boldness and faith, building the empire that lives in your heart.